and the silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet.
Good afternoon. You're tuned into Ability Matters, the program that covers matters to do with abilities, disabilities and everything in between. We are one of the longest running disability-related shows in the world, starting as Headway On Air all the way back in 2007 and now brought to you by My Home Living Care, an NDIS registered disability support organisation.
Yes, that's right, Sean. Welcome to Ability Matters. I'm your host, Tony Scott-Emilio, and with me as per normal is my co-host, Beck. How are you, Beck?
Good. How are you today, Tony?
Getting all right. Well, considering we had to change up a little bit things here at VOX FM, but we're going strong.
New spot. It's all good.
And new spot, everything. It's okay. Now, so do we have anything special to talk about today?
We're not going to be talking so much today. We're going to be listening. I've done an interview with Fred over the phone.
A pre-recorded, yes.
Yes, so we're going to have a chat with him and hear what he's been doing. He's actually had a stroke a couple of years ago, and he's going to tell us what it's like being adjusting to the new norm.
Well, that would make sense considering I have a pre-recorded Fred interview here, but I think we'll play a couple of songs first, then we'll dump straight into it, okay?
Excellent, sounds great.
I'm going to open up today's show with some ELO, that's Electric Light Orchestra, with All Over the World from 1982. That was a feature in the film Xanadu. Yes, that was just Go West with King of Wishful Thinking from the year 1990. And now we're just going to jump into the interview with Fred that Beck was talking about earlier on the show. And then, yes, I think she just did it. When did you record this one, Beck?
I just did it on Friday in the morning.
Friday past, okay. So it's a fairly recent. Yeah. Here we go. And yes.
Good morning. How are you going, Fred?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Beck.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us this morning. We really do appreciate that.
No problems at all.
Thank you. So I'll jump straight into my questions that I have for you this morning. Can you tell us a bit about yourself before you had the stroke? How old you were, your family, some of the things you like to do and the job that you were working in?
Okay, so I was 45 when I had the stroke. As a husband to my wife, Christy, and a father to my two children, Willard, who is now 16, and Alice, who is now 12.
Wow.
So I suffered a severe hemorrhagic stroke in July 2021.
Yeah.
Which resulted in me having to have a craniectomy, and I was put in an induced coma for 2 weeks. A week later, I suffered a blood clot in the calf that travelled to the lungs.
Oh no!
And I was an inpatient in the Sydney Hospital from July 2021 until November 2021.
Oh, wow.
Before the stroke, I was an underground diesel mechanic.
Oh, really? That sounds
and
interesting.
I also ran a 50,000 acre sheep station.
Oh, wow, that would have been amazing. Whereabouts was that located?
So that's about 45 kilometres south of Broken Hill.
Wow. So you had to come... Sorry. So you actually had to come a long way from home to come and stay in the hospital?
Oh, yeah, 12 to 1,300 kilometres.
Wow, that would have been massive, and it would have been a really big strain on your family members to come and visit you as well.
It was definitely wasn't. It was in the midst of COVID as well, so you can imagine travelling was just impossible.
Oh, no. That sounds like you might have had to spend a little time by yourself there while you were recovering.
I did, after July 2021, and then so I spent from July 2021 until November 2021 before I seen the kids and Christy.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, so it was a bit of it was pretty hard, but, you know, we just FaceTimed and stuff like that, so I always got to see their faces to say goodnight and stuff, so...
Oh, that's beautiful. At least you had that connection that you were still able to communicate with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. So I'm gathering we don't really need to... well, I suppose you said 2021 was when you had your stroke, so that would be approximately 3 years ago now.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 3-year post-stroke anniversary in July, yeah.
Oh wow, that's and I'm just wondering, like, has it gone quickly for you, or have you found that it's not as quick as you'd like it to be?
Surprisingly, it has gone quickly. I really did think that, me being ever the optimist, I always thought that I'd be up running marathons by now.
Yeah.
You know, like I was at the gym 6 days a week and fit and healthy, and then just dropped on the footy field, running across the half-back flank and had seen black spots, and yeah, pretty much by the time I got back to the coach's box, I was sitting down and couldn't talk. So. Oh
no! So it was a fast downhill from when you left the football field. I'm gathering you play football.
No, I was actually coaching. So.
Oh, you coach football. Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, the kids.
Oh yeah, what club do you coach?
Central Broken Hill Football Club for the juniors.
Oh, okay. What age group were those people?
They would have been under 13s, perhaps. Yeah, then.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been exciting for you to get in there and help them little youngsters decide how they're going to shape themselves and play as they get older.
Yeah, it was good actually. So.
Yeah. So I suppose my next one would be, how has the stroke impacted you? Is it a movement thing? Is it to do with your thinking and comprehension of what's happening around you? What's the different things that have...
So it's left me with left side hemiplegia.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly but surely getting the coordination back in the left leg.
That's what I like to hear. Ever positive.
Yeah, no. So, I'm always positive. Like it's probably one of my worst virtues in life, but anyway.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. So you got left side there. Has there been much that you've had to retrain yourself with speaking and things like that, or? No,
it's actually, we're not allowed to use the word lucky, because my neurologist in Sydney said, you're not lucky. If you were lucky, you wouldn't have had a stroke. He said, you're fortunate.
Oh, well, yes, but you're very fortunate that you're still here.
Yeah, that's right. And I think, everyone used to say to me all the time that I spend too much time at the gym. Like, I was at the gym 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, and I still had a stroke. My diet was impeccable, never drank, don't smoke, done all the right things, and I still had a stroke back, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so I suppose, well, the way I put it down to is, if we have dodgy pipe work, there's not a lot that we can do about those things. No matter what we do, it's still gonna, at one point, maybe bust or something like that. It's not gonna always help you out in the way that you had thought it would.
And I never did realise until one of the head neurologists at RPA told me that our carotid arteries are tissue paper, so if you actually have your head on the wrong angle and sneeze, you can blow a carotid artery.
Oh, wow, something that small and insignificant can do that much of a damage to you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know that one myself, so thank you for teaching me that today, Fred.
That's all right.
And all our listeners. So my next question for you was, what has it been like adjusting to rely on like one side more than the other?
So it has been, honestly, I think I've actually adjusted quite well. Like I have my OTs come once a month and they try and teach me how to use a knife and fork, and it's like, mate, I just got a pair of kitchen shears. I just cut everything up with scissors and then stab it with a fork.
I like ingenuity. So, just think outside of the box. So
there you go. There's the first part. And the main thing you should get from that one is that, well, what Bex just pointed out to me then was that
carotid artery.
Pencil thin.
Yeah, it's like tissue papers, he said. So
Wow.
if you turn and sneeze the wrong way, it could actually do some damage. And I was amazed at just how small a thing can make such a big difference.
What is the main artery?
Yeah, from your head down through to your body. So
Yeah, to your heart, yeah.
that would make a big impact if something like that happened. But I did really like at the end when he talked about getting his shears.
His shears?
Yeah, he's a farmer, so
Right.
he's got shears that he uses to
We're
cut.
talking manual.
Yeah, he cuts
sheep.
like the sheep
Yep.
skin, and he uses it to cut up his food because he can't use a knife and fork properly yet.
Talking back in the day, good old days of sheep shearing.
Yeah, get the shears. I
Yep.
like it. I thought it was a good idea. Whatever's working is whatever you use.
Get back to it. Good stuff. I think we're going to go through a fair bit of music today, hopefully. I've got here some older stuff from the 70s now. Led Zeppelin with Misty Mountain Hop from the same album as Where Stairway to Heaven was on. Led Zeppelin 4, or people know it as IV, but there we go. 4, Roman numerals. 1971, Misty Mountain Hop, Led Zeppelin. Enjoy. And as I said, that was The Angels with Take a Long Line from 1978 from the album Face to Face. A good little 70s double there. Shall we move on to some more songs and then we'll go back to the second part of the interview. So next up we've got here another 70s tune, The Band, Shape I'm In from album Stage Fright, 1970. Nice. Yes, that was just Simply Red with Something Got Me Started from the year 1996, and the album was All Stars. Okay, this is still Tony S in the chair with Beck on the other side.
Hello.
And now, yes, let's just jump straight back into the music. Oh, so no, we'll get to the second part of that interview we heard earlier today with Fred, the client who suffered a stroke. Not a stroke.
Yeah, so this is more about the different challenges he's faced as he's had to go through living a new life, I suppose, after he's had the stroke. So.
Well, I've suffered a brain injury, traumatic brain injury. I know what changes are all about, and yeah, I can level with him. I can relate. That's what I can relate to.
I think that it's very similar. I mean, just because that's classified as a stroke, but I think that any kind of injury that would
affect the brain,
would whether it's a bleed or
be on a
clot
similar
or
level.
whatever, so similar problems I think would occur.
I can appreciate, yes. Okay, well anyway, here's Fred.
Sounds like you are able to use other things that you've previously used in other aspects of your life to be able to adapt them to your needs now after you've had the stroke.
Yeah, definitely. I've got the electric wheelchair that has been a lifesaver. As much as I hate it and want to burn it and just want to walk again, it's just been a lifesaver just to get around, and I can get down to the office to do my work because I picked up a job at a local engineering firm. So.
Oh, excellent! So you're working again?
Yeah, so back in the workforce, just a fleet manager for their mobile fleet.
Oh, excellent! So how often do you do that? Is there a couple of days a week, or do you decide to go back full time?
No, so we're just doing 2 or 3 hours in the morning every morning, and then it's all work from home, obviously. And I do have to go down to Mildura's closest place that I can resit for a licence test.
Yeah.
So I'll go down there, and once I get my licence back, it'll be out at the workshop pretty much all full time in an office.
Excellent. It sounds like you're kicking goals there, Fred. You decided that you're going to get your licence again.
Yeah, so.
How far along are you with that? Are you still going around with a learner driver, or are you...
Yeah, so I have 3 lessons a week with the Els lady, and I think it's just there is some semblance of a slight left side neglect, but as long as I know about it and I scan quite well now. So I just make sure I scan and check and double check and triple check on the left side, and I'm right.
Oh, that's good. And also, did you have a spinning knob that helps you to go around? Yeah, I have one of those too. That's what made me think to ask that question. So they're very handy indeed. Although I've found it's a bit like driving a forklift. You have to go straight before you go around the corner.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like you're doing really, really well for yourself, and you've decided that it's not going to beat you and everything's moving forward, and even though it's in a different manner, you've been able to get back out there and do some things with yourself, getting back to work and things like that.
I think like one of my friends always tells me to improvise, adapt and overcome, because that's all he wants to do. So I just work something out, and if we can't do it, we find another way of doing it so it's easy to do, and then use that all the time.
Yeah, no, that sounds like some really good advice that you've been given there. So I suppose that would be something that our listeners would probably resonate with and probably want to try that a little bit themselves if they've got some problems. But I do have for you another question. So besides having to learn to drive again and get back into the workforce, did you find there had been some big changes in your daily living? Have you had to do a lot of things differently than you would have previously?
Probably just more so relying on other people.
Yeah.
I sort of get a bit, and it's only because I'm pretty pig-headed that I get a bit bent out of shape that somebody else is out there like looking after my sheep, and you know, where I just think once I can finally get my licence back, it'll be a game changer. Like I'll be able to get out there all the time.
True. I spoke with a gentleman. He's in a wheelchair at the moment, and he actually gets out on his quad bike and drives around and does a lot of things. He has a cattle farm, so I'm sure there'd be no reason why you wouldn't be able to do that with the sheep.
No, that's right. They're just a bit smaller and woolly.
Yeah. Okay, so my last one for you today would be, I suppose, did you have any words or observations that you'd like to share with our listeners? I know it's been a big journey for you the last 3 years. Is there anything that you picked up along the way?
Only that. The only piece of advice I could ever give is just don't give up.
That's actually probably the best advice that you can give. Yeah.
And, you know, like we read lots of stroke survivor stories, and we're on all the stroke pages, obviously, but on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's the biggest thing. The biggest takeaway for me is, you know, just don't give up. Everyone says, oh, it's all right for you. You're just a hard head that never gives up. And I said, no, but the thing is, you can't. If you give up, you spiral into depression. You end up thinking, oh, I haven't got a purpose. I don't want to be here. That's no good for anyone.
So true. So what I'm taking from that, when you were saying about reading the stroke stories, I suppose that gives you some motivation and things to aim towards in your own recovery journey, that you want to try and have a go at those things as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like my neurologist in Sydney and the textbook said that, oh, no, you can't. You'll never get in a car. You'll never walk with a quad stick. Well, the first thing I done when I left hospital was got in a car, and now I'm walking with a quad stick. Albeit very wobbly, it's still...
That's excellent.
It's still walking.
That's great to hear. And I know that we'd spoken previously a few years ago when you were in your initial stages, and you had asked me that, if you were going to walk again. And I had said to you, if you believe it, it will happen. It might not happen as quickly as you would like it to, but it's good to hear that it's actually happening for you.
Yeah, it sure is. And that's just like our Broken Hill community spirit is unbelievable, Beck, honestly. Like the engineering firm that I actually got a job with come out and because I couldn't get down to the gym to use the parallel bars all the time.
Yeah.
So they said, oh, well, we'll come out and put one in for you. So they come out to my house and put one in out the back for me.
Amazing. That's so good to see that they're supporting you and helping you to reach your goals that you wanted to.
Oh, definitely. So we just go out there in the wheelchair, and obviously only when someone's with me, and I just walk up walk up the concrete pathway and then turn around, step down onto the grass, walk back down the grass, step back up onto the concrete pathway and just do laps around the walk bar.
Oh, excellent. That's great. It's actually a step in the right direction, and don't worry about how long it takes. As long as you're doing what you want to do, doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
No, that's exactly right. So
excellent. So I'd just really like to say thank you for speaking with us this morning, Fred. It's been really amazing, and to hear your journey and hear your story. We'll probably get back in contact with you in a couple of months to see how everything's travelling.
Well, that was great there, Beck.
Oh, thank you.
As you say, excellent, yes.
I think I overly used that word.
That's all right.
I've got to find out what that means in the right-click thesaurus and find some new words for excellent.
And what was that other thing that he said that we were talking about just then? How the people always, they prepare them with very strong words, like saying never.
Yes. It's a lot of speculation around that.
As in he'll never walk again or something like that? Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
speculation,
a lot of people,
as you said.
Yeah, people want it to be a bit more positive, where there's I don't know response of you could or maybe you won't.
It's
you
uncertain.
Can't really tell
It's not definite that you will walk again unless,
Yeah, so there's, but then at the same time, I'm not sure if it will give people the same motivation to actually defy that and do those things that they've been told that they will never do. So I think there's the argument for both sides. We can be a bit nicer about it, but we also want to make sure that people are given that drive that they get when they're being told that they won't do something again.
Because it all comes within, doesn't it? From within, I should say, yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. You don't really know what you can do until you have to do it and how far you can push yourself.
Well, I can tell you now from personal experience, I know, so yes.
Yeah, I know exactly the same.
Yeah, we're both in the same boat, don't worry, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's similar like Fred, told never walk again, and I'm driving and everything now like he's starting to do. And I actually spoke with Fred a few years ago when he first had his stroke.
Wow.
And he was wanting to know all those wonderful things. Will this happen again? Will that happen again? And I had to let him know that there's no timeline on when it will happen.
And there's no definite yeses or nos.
Yeah, you can't really say it will or it won't. You just have to say, as long as you keep trying.
And do the right things in preparation for.
Yeah, you may get there. You got to just see how it goes.
Let's get back to some tunes, shall we?
Not a while.
Here's some Ray Charles and the Blues Brothers. Shake Your Tail Feather, Twistin' from 1980. Then after that, we might have some Elton John, but for now, Ray Charles. Yeah. Thank you, Elton John, with Something About the Way You Look Tonight from 1997. From the album, The Big Picture. Beautiful stuff. Anything more particular to say about?
Not really. I just think I'd like to say thank you very much to Fred for being so honest and authentic.
Open.
With what he told us, because I know a lot of people try and play down their challenges and things that they have to go through. So a lot of people tend to think it's not so bad, but it actually is quite daunting, and there's a lot that you have to face on a very basic
daily basis,
level.
yeah.
There's, self-grooming and...
Self-grooming?
Yeah, like dressing yourself, having a shower, doing your hair, brushing your teeth, all that kind of stuff.
The basic stuff that people take for granted,
yeah, we just think it's so easy, and then something like that happens and, oh no, it's not. How do you do that now that you can't use both your arms, or got to try and find different ways?
Hold the toothbrush to your mouth, move your hand back and forth, and
it's and I suppose also too, I'm lucky because I was always left-handed. So for a lot of people that aren't, though, they're right-handed.
Myself,
so having to learn how to do everything in reverse with your other hand, that could be quite daunting as well.
I didn't quite go to that extreme. It took me a long time to relearn how to use my right hand, and
Well, I suppose that's, and it may even be with some people with their brain injury, depending on where it is in their brain. It might not be an option. They might not get that
Well, I suppose
function back properly.
the most daunting thing I had was having to relearn to play guitar again. Wow, that was...
Yeah, that would, and the
Of course, that involves both hands, and yes.
Is it dexterity?
Dexterity
To
with
move
your
your
fingers, yes.
Yeah. So
Good word, yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things that we don't realise how much is involved in just such a small thing until we actually have to do it. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us, Fred.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fred.